Hello and welcome to the video. You know, um, my name is Wade Smith, and talking with people supposedly in the know, and they don't know what they think they know, but talking to people about climate change on Quora, and they act as if I don't already know this, and I actually know the real math that solves the real portion of the man-made portion of climate change versus non-carbon sources of climate change. And it turns out that carbon dioxide only actually explains about 15% of the present ongoing warming. The rest of it is explained by either methane, nitrates, or halogens, or some other gas leaking into the environment from somewhere. But carbon dioxide only actually makes up 15% of the current ongoing forcing. And I can do the math to prove that, by the way. Um, uh, But these people patronize you and treat you like you're an idiot because you disagree with their side of the argument. So I was saying that I find volcanic winters to be more dangerous than global warming, and I do. But anyway, these climate alarmists want you to stop eating meat because cows fart, and eat beans for protein. Do you realize how many beans aren't pure protein? They're half carbs. I'm type 2 diabetic. I'm not supposed to eat any carbs if I can avoid it. So I actually cannot lose weight by eating beans. But anyway, if humans just eat 10 times more beans to make up for for not eating meat, then humans will fart and produce methane and nitrates, which are both greenhouse gases. So eating beans is not the solution to climate change. Cows eat grass, which grows in places that staple crops don't grow. So you raise the cattle in places that staple crops don't grow. And so you're actually very efficiently storing calories and protein and nutrients as meat in the animal while it's growing by eating a crop, the grass, which humans don't eat, but which grows much more readily than does the staple crop. All right. I'm explaining the economics of farming to people because people don't understand. I actually helped my mother on her farm at her house from time to time. I know how much it takes to feed a farm animal, but I also know how much it takes to feed a human being. So anyway, if the cows weren't producing methane and nitrate gas, the humans would be. So, or we are. So, we actually produce close to 1 part per million rather CO2 per year just from breathing and eating. Which is actually preposterous that about a third of the net carbon dioxide gain each year comes from the actual breathing of human beings, not burning fossil fuels. New estimates suggest that the world population is already up to around 10 billion, even though the official census estimates still have us around 8.5 billion, because the census bureaus in various countries are not counting people correctly, and they're not even trying to count people that don't live in cities. They just count the people that live in cities and don't even bother counting people that live in the countryside. And if you do that in every major country worldwide every year, then pretty soon you have a billion people living in the wilderness that you don't even count. China, Brazil, Pakistan, India. All right. Cow farts are not that big of a deal compared to other sources of methane and nitrate. Human farts are not that big of a deal compared to other sources of methane and nitrate. Carbon dioxide makes up only 15%. I'm not lying or exaggerating or joking. Carbon dioxide makes up only 15% of the total forcing of the climate change that's ongoing compared to the past 200 years. 15% of the effect, not the majority of the effect. Not even half of the effect is caused by carbon dioxide. If it was, it'd be easy to deal with and stop. Um, all right. We're not going to make a colony on Mars and send 50,000 people to found a new planet of humans on Mars because the cost of doing that and the energy cost and the pollution made doing that is going to cost so much money that you would never be repaid by the colonists, obviously. And there would be no benefit to humanity on Earth because they're not coming back. And there'd be no benefit to the people sent to Mars because now they're going to live on an inhospitable planet in a metal tube and hope they don't get hit by a meteor or a tornado for the rest of their lives. I wouldn't do it. You couldn't compensate me or my family enough to send me to Mars. All right. I say that because I don't know why, but Elon Musk is hung up on Mars. He's kind of like I was 15 years ago when I thought some of this stuff was actually possible, and then I proved to myself that it was not possible, so I stopped thinking about it. But Elon Musk is like that. He hasn't checked the facts on Mars, and he thinks he's going to find found a human colony on Mars sometime in his lifetime, and we're going to ship 20,000 or 50,000 Americans to Mars at a cost of only around $100,000 per pound. Supposedly smart people and they're fools, which the Bible tells you that thinking themselves wise they became fools.